Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is September 24th, 2025, and this is the Denver Business Beat Podcast. My name is Arica Netterville. I'm your host, and my very special guest and friend today is Patrick Leonard with Loomis. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you today, Arica?
I'm amazing. It's so exciting to have you on the show. We've known each other for about 3 years, networking events and functions, and I always see you out and about. You've come to some of our events as well, so it's great to have you on the show today.
Yeah, great to be here.
Yeah. We want to give a huge thank you to Sandy Shalster with Rooms by Sandy. She's recently redid the studio and new furniture, new wood, new chairs, new pillows, greenery, foliage. She just went to town with her biophilia and everything that she likes to do. So Sandy, thank you so very much for doing our studio. We really appreciate you. Before we get into the interview, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? And how long you've been in Colorado?
Yeah, so originally from New York, was born in the city, moved to the suburbs for a bit, went to college in upstate New York, and moved back to the city in my early 20s, and was there till late 30s, and lived in Detroit the last few years, and moved out to Denver in the winter of 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
23. I think I came out in 2022. You like it?
Yeah, it is the quality of life out here is very high for what you get. I mean, it's, the people say the mountains are far away, but like it's, the foothills are world-class mountains by most of the rest of the country standards, so it's super nice to just have easy access to the mountains.
Yeah,
it's a
you
good
could
little
be in
city
Evergreen in 35 minutes. I mean, come on.
No, it's a great town.
Yeah, I'm totally in love with Denver, and I don't regret leaving hot Florida at all. What was the thing that brought you out here?
My partner. I met her when I was living in Detroit, and she had wanted to move out to Denver forever, and we had the opportunity with some career stuff, so we jumped on it.
Good. Well, I'm happy that you did, and I've enjoyed being friends with you all this time, and thought it would be a great episode because we haven't had someone on to talk in detail about mortgages, and that's what you do. You're an independent broker with Loomis, and you're going to be able to give us a good insight into everything going on with mortgages right now. So, how long have you been with Loomis?
Loomis I came on with in just this past June, but I mean, I've been in the mortgage industry since 2021. So.
Yeah. Let's talk about being an independent broker. Are you always attached to a mortgage company and that's the representation? Could you do a mortgage on your own in your own right without a company? What are some of those complexities?
Yeah, so I work with Loomis Home Mortgage. It's the company. I am, a contractor through them, but as a mortgage broker, my job is really to shop for the best rate that I can get for the consumer, find the best deal for them. So I work with any number of lenders that I bring loans to, and just compare and see what I can do to get people the best deal that I can.
Yeah. How has the mortgage industry and I guess that would be your rates, been this past year? What are some of those challenges or some of those peaks that you've had?
Yeah, so it's, highs and lows, ebbs and flows. My partner and I bought a condo in Capitol Hill in October of 24, so just under a year ago, and rates had been trending down, and everyone told us, they're just going to keep going down, so it might not be the best time to buy, and we bought at the bottom for that time, and they pinged back up, and they peaked a few months ago, and they've been trending back down again, so I've been having some good fortune with some of the borrowers that I'm working with and getting them some good deals, but things have been trending down, I'd say, the last 2 or 3 months, which has been great for business.
Yeah. And what would you say has made that trend kind of go down?
It's what goes into mortgage rates can be super complicated, and political trends and uncertainty and tariffs, and just so much that's happening in the political spectrum that influences mortgage rates. But while the Federal Reserve cut rates recently, and those are tied to the complexities of the overall economic situation. They're not directly tied to mortgage rates, but we are hopeful that as the Fed makes decisions going forward, that the decisions they make will increase confidence in markets and will help with mortgage rates going forward.
Yeah. I would like to get us to a more comfort level with things and a little bit more stability. This past year has been, and again, you said the word political, causing a lot of uncertainty, not just in mortgage and mortgage rates, but just as the consumer or a customer. I mean, things have gotten so exuberant between gas and food and living expenses. Would you say now is a time to just bite the bullet and buy versus all the exuberant rent?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of trying to time markets. So if you're somebody who is in a position where you're seriously considering to buy and it's not going to put you in a financially uncomfortable position, yeah, I mean, I think any time you can buy, if you can buy and get a monthly payment that fits your budget, it's a great time to buy. And I mean, I'm not a real estate agent, but I work with a lot of real estate agents, and I mean, every indication that I have when I speak with them is that it really is a buyer's market right now with tons of inventory. I mean, I see it in the neighborhood that I live in. I mean, I go around, I check out open houses pretty much every weekend, and things are sitting. So if you're looking for the opportunity to buy, I mean, there's a lot of leverage. I know a lot of agents are able to get pretty big numbers in terms of sellers concessions and things like that. So if you've got a good agent, you can get yourself a pretty good deal right now.
So I guess it's safe to say that some of the uncertainty and some of the political issues has caused kind of a buyer's market.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely impacted the market in terms of people willing to go out and buy right now. I mean, hopefully, as we move forward, if things can, calm down in sort of the overall political situation, hopefully we get to a place where there's consumer confidence and people are excited to go out and buy homes. And
yeah, I'm excited about that as well. As a business owner, we need a strong economy and people that want to take that risk to do advertising or purchase a home or a vehicle or a business. So if we could just get back to that, it would be great. That would be really, really wonderful, instead of causing so much chaos and uncertainty. What are some of the challenges that you faced this past year in mortgage and lending with getting folks approved?
Yeah, so I mean, my biggest issue really is, my background prior to being in loan origination, which is really the sales side, trying to get loans in the door for my company, I worked in mortgage underwriting. And the majority, I did that in a different city. So being new to Denver, not having a network of people, it's been kind of just growing my business from the ground up. I started on the sales side in the industry back in, I believe, January. And it's really just been building a professional network, meeting people like yourself and other people at, are the chambers of commerce that we're a member of, and just really getting out there and getting people, to want to just go out and get loans. And it's been a really good process so far. I mean, I've met a lot of great people in the industry, a lot of great people in Denver, and but yeah, getting people approved, I mean, that's, with my background in mortgage underwriting, I mean, that's kind of where my expertise comes in. I mean, I know the back end of the process inside and out, and getting people actually approved is easy. It's just a matter of getting people confident enough to get out there and buy right now.
That's got to be, one, exciting. Two, you definitely are a mover and shaker. I do see you at networking events, chamber events, and functions. So I'm sure in the few years that you've been here, you've grown that network. Absolutely. What would you say to a young person that is wanting to get into the mortgage lending world? What does that look like? How do you start, and where do you go from there?
Sure. So I got very lucky. I decided to move from education to mortgages in February of 21. The industry was booming, and I found a company that was willing to take people on, train them up as underwriters, because they really just needed, they needed tons of underwriters for
Sure.
all the loans that were being done during COVID. And, as much as I enjoyed mortgage underwriting a lot, it's, you're kind of more capped in terms of your earning potential. So I decided to move over to the sales side to, I was working 12, 14 hours a day and wasn't being reflected in my paycheck. So I thought, it's time to get out there, work for myself, because essentially, as a loan originator, while I am, the company I contract with is Loomis, I'm essentially self-employed. So the sky's the limit as far as earnings go. But for somebody looking to get into the industry, really, I think, getting your license and finding a brokerage that'll take you on, train you up. There's so much to learn in the mortgage industry. There's so many different types of loans, and
Sure.
how do you determine what the best loan is for a particular person in terms of, somebody could qualify for 5 different types of loans.
Yeah.
What's going to be the best type of loan for them? So finding, a really quality brokerage to help train you up would be, to me, the first step.
Yeah, and I would assume that brokerage would be investing in that person as well, with teaching,
Sure.
training, learning, all of that as well.
Yeah, I don't know personally of any brokerages that'll, do cover your licensing and stuff, but they really, if when I came on, since I've been at Loomis, the amount of training I've gotten, it's a really great company end to end.
Oh, I love hearing that. So there you are, young wannabe mortgage loan officers. Loomis sounds like it's a great company. Let's talk about the different loans and what some of that criteria looks like. Spell that out for folks. I know some of the verbiage like FHA or veterans loans, things of that nature. But what are those 5 different types of loans that someone could get?
Sure. So there are so many different types of loans, but in terms of the primary ones, a conventional loan, that's one that is going to be able to be sold to Fannie and Freddie, and it's got certain guidance, in terms of how high your debt can be, and their income requirements, and just lots of rules. But most people who get loans are going to go for a conventional loan. FHA is really great for first-time home buyers and also for people who've had derogatory credit events. Their rules can kind of go down lower in terms of your FICO score and stuff like that. If you have the opportunity to get a VA loan, if you're a vet or active duty military, they're really just truly great loans. You can put as little as 0% down. You can roll a bunch of the fees into the loan. So it's a really great opportunity for active duty military and vets. There's lots of other different types of loans. Another product is DSCR loans. They're great for people who are newly self-employed who want to buy investment properties.
Okay.
There's lots of different types of loans out there. They all have different types of rules. The VA lending guide, I think, is like 2,000 pages or so.
Wow.
So there's lots of rules, but lots of great opportunities out there if you're looking to buy.
I love that. And then, do you primarily deal with just residential, or do you do commercial and residential?
Exclusively residential.
Just residential.
We've got some people that we both know through the Chambers of Commerce
Oh,
that
yeah.
we definitely can help you with your commercial
Yeah.
needs. But
Todd Brown, he's a great broker. He'll be able to help you commercially.
yeah, Todd is a great guy.
He is a great guy. He's stuff sitting right there. He's one of our advertisers, and we really love supporting him. And he's our only person that's in real estate of any kind. So he's pretty much got that market stamped. So go Todd Brown.
There you go.
What would you say would be the prep that someone would want to do, a couple or an individual, to make things a little bit smoother in the mortgage process? What would be that prep doing? Credit card bills, rotations, and things of that nature.
First and foremost, I think before you're even, to me, the first step in the process, definitely, obviously chat with a real estate agent, but, concurrent with that, I would definitely talk with a loan officer, because prior to even submitting the application, if you're, you might be 6 months to a year out, they can kind of tell you, look at your personal profile and be like, hey, you should do X, Y, and Z in preparation, but, just some top level things. I would be very careful about what I'm doing with my personal finances. I certainly would not quit my job or put in my 2 weeks notice while I'm in the process. Those are things that do get verified prior to closing. I wouldn't be sending, lots of money between different bank accounts. Underwriting is going to ask about it. There could be completely legitimate reasons you're doing these things, but it's just going to make the process more complicated as the mortgage underwriters dig into your financial profile and just make sure everything's on the up and up. If you're going to be receiving a gift from a family member or something like that, make sure you tell your loan officer up front that's where the down payment funds are going to be coming from.
It's all good information.
Yeah, I mean, there's, really, but I would say, because things can get so personalized, and there's even for every rule in mortgage underwriting, there's an exception too. So I would definitely just, before you start the process, talk to a loan officer, just see what they think, what advice they would give you, and then once you're in a position where you're ready to put in a serious offer, before you find the property, but you're like looking with the intention of like the day I find that property, I'm making my offer, get pre-approved, because if you're not pre-approved, you're not going to be able to make an offer.
Right.
Generally speaking, your pre-approval is good for 4 months, and then you gotta renew your documents and all that stuff, and it's a super easy process to re-up your pre-approval. But even if you're thinking maybe, because what you don't want to happen is you find the place you love, you're not pre-approved, you go to your loan officer that day and they're like, can I get pre-approved?
3 to 6 months, that house can be sold.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, generally speaking, like if you're working with me, I can most of the time get people pre-approved the same day, but sometimes there's issues with the documents, or I'm gonna ask for certain documents to get you pre-approved, you're not gonna be able to get them for a day or two, and you're gonna miss out on that house. So the pre-approval is the biggest part of the process.
Absolutely. Again, all of this is really amazing information and a deep dive into some of the things that you're going to need to know. And again, right now is a good buyer's market and there's a lot of inventory. So would you recommend that when someone is really serious about wanting to do a home purchase, get a real estate agent and a mortgage officer at the same time?
Yeah, and generally speaking, I've got a number of agents that I work with kind of hand in hand, and they're gonna not only recommend me, they're gonna recommend some other people. Maybe I'm a great personality fit for somebody, maybe there's somebody else that would be a good fit. But your real estate agent, if you don't have a lender that I would ask your agent, because they're gonna have somebody that they know, that they trust. And one of the benefits of working with a loan officer through like a mortgage brokerage, say, is that unlike a big bank, we tend to work non-traditional hours. If you need a pre-approval at 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to be sitting there working on a pre-approval at 10 o'clock at night. If there's issues that come up over a weekend, most of us who are brokers will work weekends, so you kind of get a really hands-on service when you work with a mortgage brokerage.
It sounds like you're so client-centric. I really love that availability. It's not always ideal, but it sounds like you're really there for your clients.
Yeah, well, my business is entirely referral-based, self-generated. I get my business based on the fact that I've done good business or I've given good service to different people trying to buy homes, to different real estate agents. They know that I treat their clients well, so if I'm not giving the best client service, I'm not going to be in business very long.
Absolutely. There's so many different ins and outs of it that, again, referrals, if you had a good sale and someone like the mother or the daughter is referring you to another family member, that's like the proof in the pudding right there. So,
for sure.
Any big mortgage events or things that we need to know about that are coming up, or changes, or?
No, nothing. We just had, the Fed just made their most recent rate cut. They're predicting 2 more this year, so we'll see.
And what was that? That rate?
Yeah, they cut that a quarter. They cut the federal rate 0.25%.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and I've had some good experiences with some people who I know who, they bought, particularly, there's a person who I was working with who is a veteran. VA rates came down a good bit. I was able to get him, he had bought a little over a year ago, and I was able to get him down into the low 5%, 5.25% or so. So, if you know somebody who's active duty military or a vet, just give them a heads up that VA rates have really come down, and that they should speak to a lender, or whoever did their mortgage originally, because they might be able to have the opportunity to get down a good bit, particularly if they bought in the last 2 or 3 years while rates were really high. Could be a good time for them to speak to a lender about getting a refi in and getting their rate down.
And what would you say would be a good deposit or a good monies down percentage? Would you want to have 15, 20?
Sure.
What does that look like?
So if you the big difference is if you're putting less than 20% down on a conventional loan, you're going to be paying mortgage insurance, which is based on a percentage of what the loan is. Now, plenty of people put down less than 20% nowadays. In fact, I can't say nationally what the average is, but I would say most of the people that I have worked with recently have put down less than 20%. There's one particular program that one of the lenders I work with is doing, where you can put down as little as 1%.
Wow.
If you put down between 1 and 3%, they've been giving a 2% grant that doesn't have to be paid back. So
wow.
There's some great programs out there. If you have a good loan officer, they'll know about these programs, and they'll be able to direct you to a lender that can, like I said, that's what I was saying before. It's a matter of making sure that loans are not a one-size-fits-all thing.
Sure.
You want to tailor your, what loan you're offering, or loans you're offering to a consumer to choose from based on their financial profile, what's going to be best for them.
Wow. I didn't know it was so in-depth and complicated and so many different facets of mortgage lending.
It's not like a credit card where you just fill out the application and
they send you a card.
Yeah, yes or no.
I love that. Can you give us all your links, logos, how to get a hold of you, contact, LinkedIn, all of that information? So if someone's wanting to use your services?
Sure. So, my LinkedIn, I'm Patrick Leonard. The company I work for is Loomis Home Mortgages. So you'll be able to find me, looking me up through that. My email is patrick@loomishomemortgage.com. I don't have much in the way of social media. I'm a bit of a dinosaur that way, other than LinkedIn. Any other information?
And you got a good LinkedIn presence. I like your LinkedIn.
I post every now and then.
Yeah, you should. You have to. So we're going to switch our little interview a little bit and ask a couple of personal questions. If Patrick could go back to his 15-year-old self, what would be the thing that you would say to yourself to prepare you for where you're at right now in life?
Honestly, I would tell myself to just keep doing what you're doing. Like everybody, some bumps in the road here and there, and but I kind of, the way I've ping-ponged through life and different careers and stuff like that. I don't think I would have been successful at this job when I was 22, so I would not have directed myself to it when I was that age. But I really like the trajectory I have taken through life, even with some of the pitfalls that I've had, that we all have, and I am very content with the path I've taken and where I've landed.
I'm very impressed. What is the legacy that Patrick wants to leave for clients, family, friends after everything is said and done on this planet?
Oh man, I don't know. I think in terms of clients, I want to make sure that when after closing, when somebody's sitting in their their new home and they get their first mortgage bill and they're looking at it, they're like, you know what, this is exactly what I expected. I might not love the fact that I'm paying whatever it is, but I knew that this is what I was going to be paying. And my background was in education, and I really believe in education throughout the process, and empowering people to make the best decision for them. And I never want somebody to feel like, this wasn't fully explained to me. I don't understand this part of it. Like, it's just, to me, just making sure people are educated and feel empowered with the mortgage decisions they've been making. And as far as family goes, just try to be good to them and be there and present.
I love that. Any shout outs, anything you want to give to our viewers or listeners?
Sure. Yeah. shout out to you in this podcast. I think the work you're doing is great.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I think you and I are both members of, the Metro Chamber and the West Metro Chamber, and I know you've had, I believe, Ann and Tammy, the Fab Living team on. Yeah. They are great partners that I work with.
Great
I
ladies.
Love working with the two of them. So I think those would be, the shout outs I'd
My evolution into becoming a Jeffco girl has been really exciting. Now I live in Lakewood. I recently moved, and I could say I'm a Jeffco resident and Jeffco with the West Metro Chamber member as well. That whole corridor, there's so much growth. And business and people moving to the area, which is great for you and great for Tammy and Ann, and great for new members joining the chambers as well. I'm very pleased and proud of the way that everything is going and growing in our Denver metro area. I'm excited about 2026. I just, again, like you said, wish we could get to a little bit more certainty and things calm down a little bit, and that's all I'm gonna say on that without getting a little too political. I really appreciated you and your time today coming on the show to give us a good deep dive into mortgages. We'll get this up and tag you in all of the social media posts, and I'm excited to see if we get you a couple of new clients.
Me too. Thanks,
you're very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot going on. Make sure that you are liking, following, and subscribing on all 29 of our platforms. Make sure that you're adding myself as well on LinkedIn, Arica Netterville, Netterville. We have multiple networking events and functions coming up. I do want to say that the Nonprofit Networking Breakfast Summit is coming up on October the 17th. You were at our first one in March.
It was a great event.
Yeah, it was a great event.
Met a lot of people who are doing a lot of really just cool, impressive,
things.
good work.
Yeah, it's my way of giving back to my Denver business community and spotlighting all those incredible nonprofits. We are gearing up for that event. It is a big event, so it is taking a lot of my bandwidth here lately. So make sure that you're registering, because Co-America Philip Brewer, our really good friend, is our breakfast sponsor, and that's going to help with knowing how much food he needs to purchase and things of that nature. So registration for that event is important. Are you coming to the second one as well?
I have not looked at my calendar yet, but if I have the opportunity to, I absolutely will.
Perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all of the loyal listeners, followers, and watchers. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day, and thanks for tuning in today.